Common shooting problems and solutions. In this lesson, we answer some of the common problems of the photographer. Many of these were problems that my students and I have had. This lesson will grow and be updated as I add more problems and solutions, so please check back again. Please use the chapters in the description to see and go directly to individual problems. Problems. How to shoot through a chain link fence. Very common problem. My arms are sore and tired from holding a heavy lens. I'm short. How do I shoot over other people or obstructions? How to shoot low-angle shots without laying in the dirt or mud. How to shoot through a chain link fence, like the one in the picture. This problem exists for baseball, softball, and tennis. What you do not want to see is the fence wire in your picture, like in the picture left where the ghost image from the wire is right on the tennis player. In that case, at least the ghost image is light. Picture right, the image of the wire is very dark. And if that was on top of the batter, it would be really a problem. How to. First, support the camera on the fence post where possible. This avoids the flexing of the fence itself. Support the zoom ring, not the extending part of the lens. You want to support the lens at its most stable place, at the zoom ring. Finally, center your lens in the diamond of the fence wire and shoot as perpendicular to the fence as you can. So, using the fence post for support. The post does not flex, so when you're using the fence post to support yourself, you've got a stable support there. Support the lens on the zoom ring. You can see the thumb is on the zoom ring, the fingers are on the other side of the zoom ring. It's not on the front of the lens. And yes, when the lens does start projecting, it's tempting to hold it there, but still hold it on the zoom ring. So how do we do this? You center your lens in the diamond, as shown in picture left, and then center the subject in the diamond through the camera, shown in picture right. When you do this, when you get back home into the computer, you do the next picture. You crop it down so you just have your subject. Why you shoot perpendicular to the fence. Picture left, shooting perpendicular to the fence. As we crop in to get the player, you can see the player is around the player, there's no wires. Picture right, this is shot at an angle. As you can see in the insert, when we crop in, around the player, you can see the wire from the fence. So the fence gets in the way more when you start tilting the camera, angling the camera to the side. So if possible, try and shoot perpendicular to the fence so you've got the most area to play with so you can crop for the subject. Safety. Baseball and softball. In baseball and softball, do not hook your finger in the fence. It's really tempting to do that, but do not do that. This is for the safety of your fingers. Keep the lens hood at least an inch or two behind the fence wire. When the fence is hit by a ball, the fence will flex towards you very fast. If your camera is resting against the fence, it will be driven back into your face. Support the camera on the fence post where possible. This avoids the flexing of the wire of the fence when a ball hits the fence. So the fence can flex, but since you're on the post, You don't have to worry much about the fence hitting your camera. This is what a foul ball does to a chain link fence. That chain link fence has been permanently bent out of shape because of repeated hitting by foul balls. So you can see what the foul ball will do to a steel fence. What your fingers look like to a ball that is about to hit it. If you got your fingers hooked on that chain link fence and the ball hits it, it's going to crush your fingers against the wire. Use the fence post for supports. There is less flexing of the fence next to the post. If you go towards the center of the fence will flex a lot more because there is no support from a post behind it. Keep the lens hood back from the fence so there is room for the fence to flex. On this picture, you can see there's a couple inches between the lens hood and the fence. So as the fence flexes backwards, it won't hit your lens. My arms are sore or tired from holding a heavy lens. What do I do? Symptom: your arms are sore from holding a heavy lens like a 70 to 200 2.8 for more than a few minutes at a time. The problem is, muscles get tired when holding a weight up for long periods of time. You can hold it up for a little while, but not continuously before your muscle starts fatiguing. The solution? You have two options. Switch to lighter gear or use a monopod rather than your muscles to support the weight of the camera and lens. Options: lighter gear. Slower lenses are smaller and lighter. For example, the 70 to 200 f4 lens is half the weight of the 70 to 200 f2.8 lens, and half the weight is significant. But you may lose the ability to shoot in low lights like at certain night football games, where you really need or want that f2.8 speed. Monopod supports the heavy 70 to 200 2.8 lens and other large heavy lenses. It also allows you to keep the heavy lenses up and on the subject for long periods of time, like when shooting in the theater. This is a monopod. Picture right, the monopod is extended and used for standing position. The monopod is supporting the weight of the camera and lens, so I do not have to support the weight of the camera and lens. Note on picture left, the monopod is attached to a tripod collar on the lens. If your lens has a collar or has the option for a collar, use it. You want the camera and lens to be supported at the balance point, which would be where the tripod collar is. If you put the monopod under the camera, that puts a lot of stress on the camera mount when you use a big lens. So whenever possible, use the tripod collar on the lens. How can I shoot over other people or obstructions? Problem: you want to shoot over the heads of other people or over obstructions in front of you. Solution: there is something that is required. Your camera needs to have a tilting or articulating rear screen. A DSLR, you need to set it to live view so you can view through the rear screen. Tilt the rear screen or open and tilt the articulating screen so you can see the screen from below. Then hold the camera over your head and view the rear screen. So this is what we mean. So the high angle shot, we're shooting down, on the top picture, we're shooting down into a group of volleyball players. On the bottom, we're shooting over a softball backstop. The softball backstop is at a height such that if I put the camera to my camera will come to about the top of that backstop or the horizontal post. I cannot shoot above it without standing on a stool. So I'm holding the camera above my head and above the backstop. I'm using the articulating screen to view through the camera. How to shoot low-angle shots like the picture on the right without laying in the dirt or mud like the picture on the left. Problem: you want to shoot a low-angle shot without laying in the dirt or mud. The solution, like the prior problem, what is required is a camera with a tilting or articulating rear screen. A DSLR, set it to live view so you can use the rear screen. Tilt the rear screen or open and tilt the articulating screen so that you can see the screen from above. Hold the camera down low and view the rear screen. On the dirt or above the dirt. Picture left, the old-fashioned way, laying flat on the ground, looking through the viewfinder. Picture right, using the articulated rear screen and looking down on the camera so you don't have to lay on the ground. This is what it looks like to look down at the rear screen. More is coming later. Please check back again. The end. Thank you